Hi everyone, I'm Sophie Milburn, editor of the MSP Channel Insights portfolio, and I'm joined today by Ollie from Forescout. So to start, could you introduce yourself, your role, and a little bit about the company?
Thanks, Sophie. And yeah, hello, everyone. So I'm Olly Carter, and I'm the Senior Director of Channels here at Forescout. So international for us is EMEA and APJ. I'm responsible for our channel ecosystem, so our distributors, partners, local tech alliances. And yeah, ultimately, Forescout helps organizations understand, secure, and control every connected asset, agentless visibility across IT, OT, IoT, IoMT, medical device. We're increasingly focused on working with partners to help our customers move from visibility to action. Yeah.
And like you mentioned there's so many different platforms, so many things to consider. So from your perspectives, what are the biggest maybe security or visibility challenges that organizations are facing today across all of those environments that you spoke about?
Yeah, so I mean, you can't secure what you can't see. It's kind of one of the messages that resonates really, really well. Most organizations, they don't have a security problem first, they have a visibility problem first. And again, if you can't secure what you can't see. So Forescout's job predominantly is to help customers through our partners, of course, identify, understand, and control every connected asset, whether that's a laptop, a server, a medical device, an industrial control system, an IoT sensor. Doesn't matter what it is. We help through our partners, customers kind of control all of that. And I guess in answer to your question, the challenges that our customers are facing is that just the world's just more connected than ever before. It's more complex. There's so many more different device types, and there's just less control often. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges that end users are dealing with. I can delve in a little bit more deeply if you'd like.
Yeah, always. I'm always here to listen to more because there's so much changing. It's all changing so quickly. So I feel like the deeper we can get into things, the better.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I mean, look, number one would be asset sprawl. The average organization has more and more devices that are connecting to the network, more than ever before. And like I mentioned, I kind of reeled off a list earlier. It's not just IT devices, it's OT devices, IoT, medical devices. These are all connecting to the network. And it kind of leads on to kind of like the second, I guess, challenge stroke trend, which is there's just a convergence of all of these different devices, particularly IT and OT, IoT kind of coming together. And security teams, they used to be quite separate, an IT focused security team. Now they're having to deal with all these different assets that are relatively new to them. And then the third challenge is just the speed of threats. Everyone's talking about AI. InfoSec this week is just AI. Everyone's kind of chatting about it.
Yeah.
But attackers are using automation and AI to move faster than ever. And so security teams therefore need that visibility and to move faster than ever. They need that context. Yeah, you can't protect assets that you don't know exist on your network. And you can't prioritize the risk again if you don't understand what those assets are and what they're doing.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people can see AI as like a buzzword, but we need to keep saying it as much as everyone gets frustrated with it. We need to keep saying it because it is what the threat actors are using. So if we're not using it, we just don't stand a chance. So you kind of have to. But yeah, Forescout's also putting a strong focus on areas like continuous threat exposure management. So where are you seeing most partners kind of use that opportunity in conversations right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of market segments that Forescout addresses with everything that I've spoken about before. CTEM, obviously the analysts, we all love an acronym in this industry.
Oh yeah.
So continuous threat exposure management, but also UZTNA, Universal Zero Trust Network Access, and also CPS as well, Cyber Physical Systems. We address all of those areas. But again, to go back to your question, CTEM is about helping organizations, again, through our partner network, prioritize what really matters. So yeah, continuously trying to understand what's going on the network, but then getting the security teams focused in the right areas. Yes, CTEM is a rapidly growth area, but those other two segments that I mentioned are also critically important because, like UZTNA, for example, I think a lot of organizations are kind of increasingly coming to the conclusion that they need to move away from implicit trust and towards continuous verification.
Yeah.
And so, we work really closely with, for example, Netscope, a really nice, strong technology partnership there, where they're concentrating on the users. They know who's connecting and what they're trying to access, and then Forescout can give that deep insight into understanding the device itself and enforcing policy based on real-time device intelligence. So yeah, there's a lot that we can do, and there are lots of opportunities for partners to help customers deal with all of these challenges.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like we've slightly covered my next question, but I'd love to dig into it a little bit deeper. How important is asset intelligence and real-time visibility becoming in helping partners deliver measurable security outcomes for their customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's so important. It's critical, in fact. Visibility alone isn't enough. It kind of felt like some organizations would have considered it was enough 5 years ago. Visibility seemed to be like the end goal. Today, I'd say it's more the starting point. Customers, they want that visibility, but they also want context, they want action.
Yeah.
This is where Forescout can help because we know what the device is. We know who owns it, whether it's vulnerable, whether it's compliant, like what business function it is. So there's all of that context is so important. And then fundamentally, where Forescout comes from is, for 25 years, we've been around for a while, dealing with all of these challenges. But fundamentally, it's like we started as a network access control vendor, and to do that well, you have to have the visibility, but you don't want just the visibility. You want the control as well. That's super important.
Yeah, and as we've said many times during this conversation, everything is just evolving so quickly. So what is going to separate partners that are growing successfully today from those kind of struggling to differentiate themselves, do you think?
Yeah, and that's also a really big question, and something we've been talking about a long time. It's probably probably a lot of vendors say this answer, but like I absolutely kind of agree. It's moving. The most successful partners fundamentally are those that don't lead with products; they lead with customers, focusing on the customer problems, and then trying to create solutions. Forescout would be a key part of any security policy, to understand the assets and then to kind of exert that control. There's a lot that needs to be done, and I've spoken about some of the challenges. The successful partners will be those that are learning about these new threats and dealing with the challenges. And the opportunities as well that are around OT security or about exposure management or about asset intelligence. I think customers fundamentally, they want specialists, not just resellers.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we're embarking on this Mission Possible partner tour. The logo. It's a 91 city tour all around the world. We're taking our messaging to our partners, and it's all about trying to support the partners that we know are going to be successful because they're dealing with these challenges.
Yeah, and understanding that it's never going to be one size fits all, so tailoring it to each individual partner. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I guess final question and maybe the hardest question is looking forward into the next couple of years, what are your predictions for how the cybersecurity channel ecosystem is going to change and where should partners be investing their attentions now?
Yeah, that's a big question. We all love like predictions.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a couple of things that are going to happening, will continue to happen, accelerate, I guess, in the next couple of things. I mean, you did AI, like we spoke about it already. That will change everything.
Hmm.
And Forescout, I have to do a plug. We've got our own AI, which is embedded into our platform. And what really excites us and what's exciting our partners and exciting our customers is the opportunity to help security teams move from manually kind of hunting for information to get answers to deal with security threats to getting answers and recommendations in real time. So I guess prediction or sort of area number one would be just AI changing everything. The second, I guess, prediction or like future consideration, it's just we've spoken about it a little bit already. Fewer, more strategic partners. I think a lot of end users we're seeing are kind of locking in on particular partnerships where they're getting a lot of value adds. And I just think, we at Forescout have been reducing the number of partners that we transact with, but just getting deeper relationships and being able to add more value to our customers. So I see very much this as a kind of era of deeper relationships with your partners. And then the third kind of area that we're really seeing a lot of focus and attention on is just this, like I mentioned before, the convergence of IT and OT and IoT. The distinction between those types of assets is just absolutely blurring, and customers, I think, from partners want to have one security conversation rather than dealing with separate teams, separate products. So yeah, I'd say those three are my kind of predictions, if you like, for the future, now and the future, really.
Yeah, and as you said there, it's so interesting, isn't it? The more AI is getting involved, the more important relationships are. I feel like they're sort of battling each other, that we're becoming more human because we kind of have to.
Absolutely right. No, for sure. I mean, it's just a convergence of challenges that probably we've never had to deal with before. And we could all be very scared about the future. But I'm kind of a positive person. And I think actually with great technology, with great partners, we can meet the challenges and actually harness the potential of AI and harness the potential of securing all these different device types. So yeah, optimistic for the future, but certainly a lot to do.
Yeah, I'll try and take on that mentality. But yes, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Sophie.